Hey y'all, welcome to Conversations with Pella. We are there. We're at the weekend. We made it, y'all. We made it. And I got to give a shout out to La Norteña, the food truck, burrito truck. And listen, these are Mexican style burritos. These are not the kind of burritos that we get anywhere else. These are very Mexican style. The flavors coming out of Chihuahua, Mexico. It is some of the best food I've ever had, hands down. You go to this truck, and it's off of 710 something on Redwood Road, but it's out there in North Salt Lake. That's where it is. Across the road from Lee's Market, in the lot next to, I think it's the AutoZone. Yeah, you should go check them out because the taste is so authentic. It really just feels like you're eating home cooked food, which is the best. It's easy on your stomach. You eat the food and you realize, oh, I'm not just satisfied, but I'm also filled. I'm coming back. I go there every Friday, so I'm gonna be there in just a little bit. Try to grab me some lunch. Um, LA Smakz, those huge funnel cakes, the esquite, the aguas fresca. They're gonna be at Valley Fair Mall over the weekend. Go check them out. Go get some of that food. You will not regret it. Pockets, Pockets. It's a new pool hall out here in Taylorsville. And let me tell you, my favorite thing about a pool hall is that everybody can have fun and I can talk my guts out while you guys are playing pool because I'm not good at pool. So I don't even rent the table. I don't even get a stick out. I just sit there, dance to whatever music comes on, sing a little bit of karaoke, but you get to be engaged in what you like to do and I get to talk my guts out. You see how this is working out really well? Pockets, check them out. They're out there in Taylorsville, real close to Texas Roadhouse, real close to that little intersection, Leatherby's. That, not that strip mall, but that area. Um, and then of course, today's conversation with Pella is brought to you by Utah Grown. Check them out at utahgrown.co for the best education on the medical cannabis program here in the state of Utah. And you might ask yourself, why do I need an education? Well, a lot of you hit me up on the back end and are always trying to figure out, how do I get my medical card? How do I get to be able to participate in this program? This is the medication I'm looking for. I have a lot of friends that are doctors, and you guys are asking, how do I set this up so that my patients, I have answers for my patients so that I can be part of the program, so that I can give out more than 15 medical cards. All of that education is available at utahgrown.co. And the actual brick and mortar is the place to be for live classes, for time with medical providers, for meetings with pharmacists. Everything is housed right there. So if you need more information, go to utahgrown.co. Okay, so let me tell you what has come to mind as of late. Of course, everybody's dating somebody new. For example, I skipped over the fact, and it always kills me how long these things will stay in the news cycle. But Cardi B was seen chatting it up with old boy from the Nigerian soccer team, and I say old boy. I think his name is, nope, I can't remember it right now, but his last name is Spark, and that man is beautiful. He is beautiful. And of course, he's speaking to Cardi B because why not? Why wouldn't you shoot your shot at the universe like that? And of course, she's looking great and smiling back at him. And we all know it's probably going to work out. It's probably going to work out. It's probably going to be our business real soon. Um, but I was thinking about that. I skipped over telling the story because sometimes my brain is just stuck on things that have like larger political uh, implications, like thinking about satellites and stuff like that. Things that only I care about, and I know it. But I was thinking about Cardi B, and then just because it's in the news, and this older, how do I say it? Older than me person walked into a space that I was in, and here's the thing about it. At no point have I ever seen this person as anything other than the person who does this one thing, like the job that they're supposed to do, right? In fact, to me, this person, I feel like I'm the same age as this person's children. And just because the way my mind works, if you are 20 minutes younger than me, you're a child. If you're the same age as me, you're a child. If you're 10 minutes older than me, now you get to be a grown folk. And the older you are, the more grown you get to be in my mind. But once you pass that, am I going to say 10-year gap? I got to think about where Shannon Sharp is. Uh, once you are more than 10 years older than me, then I look at you just a little bit different. You're not disqualified from anything. You just have moved into a new category. Well, if you are at least 40 years older than me, the category is uh, somebody I know. That's the category that you're in. And this man was talking about going to a baseball game, and that he and his wife like to go, and there's snacks there. And I said, "Oh, you should take me with you." And he looked at me and he said, "And how would I explain that to my wife?" And instead of saying, what you mean? How would you explain that to your wife?" First of all, I'm not serious. I don't want to go with you to a baseball game. I also don't want to go to a baseball game. But why would you say that like that to me? How would you explain that to your wife? Who am I to you? I'm just you're somebody that I know. To you, I should just be somebody that you know. You see what I'm saying? The way he said that was like, here's what I'm getting at. You ever go to the company party where spouses are invited and you realize that somebody is mad dogging you and you have no idea why? Now, this doesn't happen to me. I'm being 100% serious. This doesn't happen to me. It has happened to me, but it doesn't really happen to me very often. But somebody's spouse will mad dog me for one reason or another, and I'll just be like, "Wow, I don't know you well enough for you to not like me like that." And usually, if it's somebody's spouse and it's somebody's wife, you could probably infer, if you think about it hard enough, is that whatever your husband is saying when he gets home makes you think that I'm shooting my shot at your husband. And I realize this is a male thing. Males really can't keep a secret. Like if they like somebody for any reason, if that is somebody who is interesting to them, and I don't just mean like interesting as being a friend, I mean interesting as in, boy, if things were different, they can't help but talk about it. They can't help but bring up that person in conversation. And to be honest, maybe women are the same way. I don't know. If I feel like talking about something, I'm just going to talk about it. Also, I don't I'm not locked into any level of contract. So I can talk about anybody I want to without consequence. You know what I mean? But I feel like I'm going to make this more broad. When somebody likes somebody, when somebody interesting shows up in their purview, all of a sudden that person's name starts just showing up in stories. It might be like, "Man, this person's so interesting," or the new girl, or so and so said to me, and it's because it's just on their mind constantly. On their mind constantly. I think I'm thinking about this because somebody who's in the category of "you're just somebody I know" said to me, what would I tell my wife?" Tell her whatever you want. First of all, I'm not going with you anyway. It's a joke. Why did you take that seriously like I was really going to go with you somewhere? Can we be a little more reasonable in this space? And also, listen, no, it's coming to me. This is also what I talk to my team members about. I think it's really important to be able to talk to people. I think it's really important not just to talk to them, but to network. And I on one level, I mean being able to know what you offer to people, but at the same time also what they offer back to a situation. I think that's the key of networking. It doesn't matter if you know everybody and everybody you know can't help you with anything. That's not networking. That's just friendship, right? And not even mutually, doesn't even matter. That's just friendship. The thing about it is when you network, the idea in my mind is that you know that you come with something to this table, but also you know that if you understand what somebody else can do, you can pair those things up in a way that is mutually, what is the word? I hate it when words just slip my mind. In a way that's mutually beneficial, right? I feel like that is the point of networking, is that you go around, you introduce yourself, you let people know who you are, but you also understand who they are. And then at the time where it makes sense, then you could say, hey, I know somebody who could do this. And it's the person you've already connected with. It's not a matter of extraction. It's not always about extraction. It's about understanding how to connect the dots and knowing when to connect the dots, because not all dots need to be connected today. You know what I mean? And so I'm talking to these youngins, Gen Zers, the ones who come to conversations and just like, man, people are talking to you. Look like you can hear them. Engage your face, even if you don't know what's going on. Smile. Say something that makes them think you're paying attention. Anything, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to teach these young Gen Zers how to talk to people, because in my department, we talk to everybody. And we have to be able to communicate with everybody in every other department. And I teach them, I can't tell them the rules right off bat on how you communicate with people and how you connect to people. You got to teach them in a way that makes sense. So the way I've learned for my team is that I teach them flirting and gossiping, right? I teach them via a gossiping method where everything I need them to know, I tell it to them like it is the most tea of all teas. Like the tea is piping hot. I never just tell them, hey, look, this is what's going on, because they never catch the significance of it. But if I tell them, oh my gosh, listen to this. And then after they're completely and fully invested in the story, I say, keep that in mind. We're going to have to watch the pattern that is developing here. Then they're like, oh, we're not just, no, we're not actually gossiping. I'm telling you the things that we need to look out for here in the company. But the flirting part. Now, with that person who is just somebody that I know, was I flirting? No, I was just being nice. I'm being nice because that's part of life, is to just be kind, right? And let's just be clear about one more thing. If I'm not kind to you, 100% I didn't start it. However, now that I'm thinking about that, somebody that I think is just somebody that I know, um, we must be going through a real loneliness epidemic, because how does somebody being nice to you equate as this person has potential to be somebody in my life? How do those two things go together? I don't. You know what I'm realizing here? I'm way out of the game, and flirting with life might just be a little bit dangerous. It's not. It's not. In real life, it's not dangerous. But maybe I need to reintegrate myself back into the system of knowing people to know people. No, actually, I don't think I need to. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? And hopefully by now, you finished up whatever you were working on while I was talking your guts out. You know what I mean? Because I'm really just here to just be your little buddy in your ear, just talking and talking and talking. Maybe I'll look into some celebrity news for your. Well, you see, it doesn't even come out of my mouth. I won't be looking into celebrity news. Um, but maybe I'll gossip with you about some celebrities in the way that makes you think we all know them personally. Because sometimes we do. Sometimes we do. All right, hey, that was it. I don't really have a point. I was just telling you about old dude who qualifies as somebody that I know, who said to me, what would my wife say? And to that I say, I don't know. What would your wife say? What did you say to your wife that makes your wife have to think a type of way about if I showed up in any space? Sir, sir, that's 100% on you. I see you.